Hey guys, it's Lainey, and today is Wednesday, so that means it is Top 5 Wednesday. Today's Top 5 Wednesday topic is our top 5 favorite series enders, and here's the thing, I only have 4, because I can't think of a 5th one, and as I was looking through some of my options, I realized that I wouldn't classify some of these as my favorite series enders. While I have finished a lot of series, some of them just don't feel like they would rank up as my top 5. So instead, I just stuck with the 4 that I immediately picked out as my favorite series enders, and we're just gonna go with that. Coming in at number 4 is the ending of the Nightshade duology by Michelle Rowan. This is Bloodlust. This is the second and final book. What I loved about this ending is that I was completely satisfied after I finished reading it. I thought it ended perfectly. It was a little open-ended for your own imagination to wonder what was going to happen next for our characters, and I liked that. It was open-ended, but not frustratingly open-ended, because sometimes endings like that really piss me off. But this one was not the case. I loved the ending. It was just perfect. It was what I wanted out of a duology for sure. It made me wish that there was going to be a third book, but not to the point where it was a cliffhanger at the end, needing a third book, but a third book would have been nice. Coming in at number 3 is another duology ender, and that is The Pirate's Wish by Cassandra Rose Clark. I mentioned this series in my last video, my last Top 5 Wednesday video, for the same reasons as Bloodlust. This was also ended on an open-ended ending that didn't frustrate me. It made me happy, and it made me very satisfied for these characters, and it made me excited for their future. Even as readers, we weren't going to see that future, though I wanted to. I was happy with how things ended, and I thought it was a great adventure story from beginning to end. It kept me engaged the entire time. I loved these characters close to my heart. I will always love them, and it was just such a great story. Coming in at number 2 is, of course, Into the Still Blue by Veronica Rossi. I love this series. I was late on the bandwagon. I started reading the series in 2013, and I inhaled the first and second book. These books were the only ones I marathon read first back to back, because this book wasn't out yet until later, and this was the first series I started promoting on my channel a lot before Fallen Kingdoms. I love Arya and Perry and Roar and even Brooke. What I liked about this ending was that it didn't make me mad, and that is hard for dystopians. Even though I classify this more as a dystopian fantasy, sometimes dystopian endings are not good. I'm thinking of all the dystopian endings, and not a lot of them are good, but this was the first one where I felt like it was perfect for our characters. Our characters got closure, our characters came full circle, and not that they lived happily ever after, because they don't, but I just felt like it was such a good ending for this kind of series. And coming in at number 1 might be kind of a shock, because I feel like I might be in the minority of this being satisfying endings, but I chose Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. The thing about this is I did go into it knowing that not a lot of people liked the ending, knowing that people weren't satisfied with the ending or found the book kind of disappointing on a whole. I read this book at the end of March, and I was voxing Kayla and Jillian the entire time I was reading it, and when shocking moments happened, they were the first ones that got my reaction. The ending, I want to make a whole video on my thoughts on the ending, because as much as it broke me and made my heart bleed, I couldn't have seen the ending happen any other way. Yeah, I'm scared of saying spoilers, but I won't. At first I didn't like the ending, and I was just like, what, that's how it's gonna end? But then as, the ending marinated in my brain, and I was really thinking about it, I realized I was okay with the ending. That's why this is my number 1, and I think I even told Kayla and Jillian that this was probably my favorite ending of a trilogy in a really long time, and I haven't felt this way about any of these series that I've read, or these past few years, where I felt this satisfied than I did with Ruin and Rising, believe it or not. And that's it for my top 4 favorite series endings. What are some of your favorites? Have you guys read the endings of these series? I would like to know, and hope you guys have a really great Wednesday, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!